everyone out there on the internet, I'm Jack of all trades, and we're here for more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean Part 2. God, that's a mouthful still. Last time, we had possibly one of my favorite arcs, just in JoJo in general, like the Limp Biscuit, Flaccid Pancake, Limp Biscuit arc, that stand. Saying it every time, I'm going to repeat myself. Part 6 has some of my favourite stands in the series, and if we can keep that momentum of that opening arc for the second half, I am gonna love this. So, ready to dive into episode 15 and 16, the Ultra Secure House Unit, which is where Jolene was left off after the insanity of the last episode, and The Secret of Guard Westwood. I assume that is the name of one of the guards. And he has a secret. I am a genius. I am going to try and just binge through and record a bunch of these back to back, so if my outfit doesn't change much, it's because I filmed these all in one go rather than no change of clothes, you know. Right, well, without any further ado, let's open this up. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 5, Stone Ocean, can currently be found on Netflix. That's where I'm watching. Please support the official release, of course. And here we go. Netflix logo. Let's brighten up so I can sync it up with the reflection when the light changes on the screen. Never mind, it's straight into the theme song. I can sync up with that pretty easily. And because I'm sitting down to record a bunch today, I was like, do I own any other JoJo merch? Anything else JoJo related I can wear? This counts, right? Pepsi logo? Part 4? Okay. Alright. I do now know that this is part 2. This is not the second half. There's going to be a part 3 to this season as well. Which, again, I'm presently looking forward to. Because more JoJo is never a bad thing. Breakout. And this pitch shifting thing I've been doing with the theme songs and the edit seems to work quite well. I've not had any copyright issues with JoJo so far. Versus other series where I would track down, you know, a cover, someone else on YouTube's cover of the theme song and play that instead. No, this is working quite well, so I'll probably keep doing this going forward. But of course, it does mean that it sounds a bit weird. Sportsman. Ooh. Okay. Oh, okay. This is an interesting philosophy. Yeah. Is that what Pucci's aiming for? Is that what Dio was trying to do? To ask you about this bone. Try to revive this bone, right. I mean, Dio, the rest of Dio is dust, so... Yeah. Yep. I'm glad we're getting more of this conversation they previously had. I already tried. Okay. Ooh, what? What? Oh. Okay, so the damage is reflected on Pucci. Cool. Yeah. So the bone, from the logic presented, is now an invisible zombie bone that bit him, I assume? But I can sense it, yeah. Also, you know, would... Okay. Do not chase the bone, leave it be? Let it wander freely. What? Oh. 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 Oh, okay, this is the memory. Oh, okay, so the bone is here. Someone may have picked it up. Oh, Emporio's watching the memory. But would the bone still be a vampire? Is my question. Or somehow be able to manifest some fraction of the world. But Sportsmax is dead and annihilated now, so when that happened to him, all the other zombies disappeared, so whatever's going on with the bone should have ended too. Okay. Right, so it's physically completely cut off, so Emporio can't get to it. Okay. Anas... I said his name too quickly. Born with a stand ability. Anastasia? Okay. Yeah, Anastasia, yeah. He disassembled the person. Ooh. He disassembled both of them. Anasui is how the characters are saying it, though. Is his name another localized, weird, changed one? Okay. I assume he's joking. Oh. Diver down, okay. Or diver dive, I think the subtitle said. What does he do? Disassemble things? Is what I assume based on what we just heard. Ooh. So he kicked the door. And then there was delay, yeah. Ah. I love how that's drawn with the two of them together. Oh, that's brilliant. Survivor? What? Oh. Which was the weakest? Is the reference to a cook deliberate? No, like, for people who think Antonio has, like, the weakest with Pearl Jam. Survivor is the weakest. 1982. Okay. Oh! Oh, that's horrific! Oh. Okay. So it... Oh. Ah. Wow. Okay. Okay. My thought was that, oh, maybe it, like, supercharged their muscles and everything, sort of like One for All is presented at the start of My Hero Academia, where without training his body, Midoriya would shatter, his arms would, like, blow off and everything. If his body wasn't strong enough to handle the power. But that is so specific. It's like, oh, it just makes them angrier. But fuck. I'm curious if that can be taken to, like, be referring to a specific person, like a specific match. Oh. Oh. That pulse and heartbeat. Does he have Survivor? Yep. Yeah, and the floor's wet. Oh. Oh. They're having fun drawing this episode. The expressions on these guys have been great, but just with the damage there as well. Ooh. This is just two guys, you know? Granted, it seems the one with the shorter hair is a stand user and has Survivor, but oh! I love that he's actually, properly quoting scripture as well. Take whatever religious commentary you want from this person picking and choosing select lines of scripture for their own purposes. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay. They all... Again, part 6 has been great for just the character designs. Like, if this was part 3, I'd assume they're all stand users, you know? And some of them might well be, you know? Fight Club time. And that's where we... Okay. Okay. I look forward to, in the edit, going back and rewatching the explanation of Survivor. That was very interesting. I'm gonna let the outro play in case there's a post-credits thing. So, I may look like an idiot in future, but I'm gonna talk out my understanding of Survivor, just in case I'm right. So these group of friends went on a hiking trip and they stopped at a lodge overnight. One of the members jokingly or remarked or insulted the lodge owner for their odor, and the owner felt, angry about that. They were upset by that, and a surge of anger of electricity went through their nervous system and everything, and through the wet ground to them, which went up through their nervous system into their brain and made them all angry, and they attacked and killed one another. Dio tells that story to Pucci. Pucci's response is, "Hey, can I go to that lodge and take that guy's stand and keep it on a disc for future use?" And Dio's like, "Yeah, sure. To each their own, do what you want." So Pucci did that. I think gave it to that guard, though it might have been that he gave it to someone else in the area or someone watching it or something. I think it was to that guard. And then all this happened. And everyone has stepped out of their cells into the water that's been sprayed everywhere. And it's just continuing to conduct and spread up through them. So theoretically, we just need to kill this one guard and then the stand's effects end, but also, given them slinging shit and shouting and laughing, and these people are in solitary for a reason. Who knows, killing this one guard might not be enough to end the fight. But then, we're on to episode 16, The Secret of Guard Westwood. Guessing this guard who has the stand survivor is Guard Westwood, but we'll see. Full screen. And here we go. Rewind. Press play. Sync it up. It's the Netflix logo. And it's gone. A Netflix anime series. And I think there's going to be a recap. Yeah. Probably just going to skip the recap. Theme song. Okay. So if if Survivor were more like Trumpet's insight, to take from My Hero Academia again, where he says this and the electromagnetic wave, blah blah blah, from his mouth, from his words, insight, people motivate them. If it were just an ability that causes those in proximity to become angrier and more aggressive and more violent, not bad. It doesn't distinguish friend from foe, was established as a weakness of Survivor. If it were more like that, then perhaps it would be a more powerful stand. But because it's almost more of a passive ability, there's the user, when they feel angry and are stood on wet ground, the other people must also be stood on said wet ground for it to go to them, and then, it just makes you angry. It's not mind control, it's not as specific or targeted or anything. It is a very situational passive ability, but very dangerous under the right circumstances. Here we go. The guy with the Roman helmet and an eye patch is throwing me. Oh. Again, the gore has been drawn brilliantly. There we go. Is it not currently affecting Jolene? Oh, there we go. Nope. Okay. Okay. Jolene is sane enough to notice that was an out of character moment for her. Oh, that was a great fucking mess with the perspective there, to suddenly have him massive and Jolene small in the frame. That was very Kill la Kill. That was a great choice. Ooh. The fuck? And should this guard be able to see Stone Free? Because stand user? And anyone else in here a stand user by chance? Yeah, yeah. Oh, your strongest point, okay. Ooh. Hmm. Okay, no, everyone else is fighting as well. Cool. Oh. Oh, and just doing a black screen with just the string visible? Oh, that was cool. It might just be the last couple episodes and perhaps how they've adapted the artwork. But I'm really curious to read this part of the manga. Because a lot of the like poses and everything have been really strong here, and the expressions. And... Not that we saw. Not that you saw. Oh. Take it now. 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 Thinking is a free action. Take the disc. Someone else. Like someone behind you, maybe? This is a really good hand-to-hand fight. And even stand-to-stand. Okay, yeah. Like, he didn't just run straight for Jolene. He pushed off the wall and then off the bar, and then at Jolene, you know? The fight choreography has been really good these past 2 episodes. Ha! Oh. That's great. Da, 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 da. Oh. Different limb, but same effect. It's not just like reflecting damage on you. Oh. Is it making, like, shards of glass fall down or something? Ah! Ha ha ha! Shit. Because, so, oh. What? His stand summons meteors and asteroids? What the fuck? I was about to say, don't you dare to be continued on that. Starlight waves? Ha! Oh. What? Where to go, FF? But, okay, so you kicked it, but then here's an arm coming out, and the arm moved through the wall. But I love using the stands, like arm and legs sticking out the wall for like rock climbing. That's a really fun idea. Producing at least 3. Okay, so we have the Starlight one, Survivor, and a 3rd question mark at the moment. Yeah, meanwhile. Oh! That is... Why are you doing this in such a... Oh, slow detail. Okay. Oh. Okay. Toward him, though? Before they can actually hit him. Okay, so he needs to put other people in between himself and the meteor. Okay, that's really fun. It's super bizarre and convoluted, but hey, this is JoJo's, man. Go with it. And this is him fighting affected by Survivor as well. So Survivor's user is still somewhere else in the area, right? Oh, fuck. Can you throw, like, him closer to the rocks? So, or do they just disintegrate before hitting him always? Is that a rule? Like, if he moves closer, like, say, you know, it's going to come down and it will dissolve by the time it gets here. If he's further over, will it still hit him, or will it dissolve before it hits him always? Oh! Oh! We did see this prisoner earlier in, like, a wide shot. He was, like, kneeling behind the doorway. Okay. To block it with the shoe? Ah! But the damage was halved. Okay. And now throw that at him? But we can hit you with a flaming brick. Yeah. Nice. Oh, now his face is on fire as well. Christ. Just an ocean. Over the bar. That's a great shot. He's gonna fall from this height and snap his neck on the ground. Down he goes. Oh, no, it didn't seem like it was that long a fall. I like that sort of sign off as a star. The stone free did there, that was cute. Okay. If he's not. Prioritize the bone. But on the way, keep confiscating discs, right? Okay, well, that was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean Part 2, Episode 15 and 16. The guard, I assume his name is Guard Westwood, going off the title. I'm going to let the credits play and quickly hop over to Google. Let's just double check stand names and localizations and stuff. JoJo Anastasia? Okay, yeah, Anasui is just different in the subtitle. I assume localization reasons. JoJo Survivor. Is that... I don't think that name's been changed. Okay, let's just hop back over to Netflix to see if there's any post-credits. Don't think so. 50 seconds left, probably just more credits for the other languages. Yeah, okay, cool. So Survivor is unchanged, nice, and... Oh, Star something or other? No, something or other, Star... Oh, what was this guy's stand name? Guard Westwood. Let's look up Guard Westwood and see what comes up, because presumably that'll link to a bit about his stand. Yeah. Green Dolphin. Planet Waves is his stand name. Okay. Not a band I am familiar with, but the name does ring a bell. Trivia! Planet Waves was originally called Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh. And then Araki remembered they had already used that name. Although written differently. Planet Waves. Okay. Araki states the sole reason is because he thought it would be weird to see meteors falling from the sky. Planet Waves was a very fun stand ability, a very out there one. But from Limp Bizkit into Survivor, those were great stand abilities to work with. Again, I did it. I mentioned it before in a previous JoJo video, but at the end of this part, I think I'll redo a stand tier list or something like that, because a lot of Part 6 ones have been really good, really fun. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here and jump right into recording my reactions to the next 2 episodes. Hopefully, it won't be too long in terms of getting them up, because I will edit a lot of these back to back to back. And again, fingers crossed I'll have this out before... Well, I'll have hopefully all of these out before the batch of My Hero episodes starts coming out. Because that'll be the next big series that we'll be covering. So yeah. I've been Jack of all trades, thank you for watching. And until next time, bye.